Well, today is the day where Africa must unite, and I'm sure you have that sense of feeling, and I hope that you think Africa must unite at this point. Many years down the line, we want to see Africa come together. We're speaking about so many things that will bring Africa together, including the economy, the currency we'll be using very soon, but that hasn't translated into reality. We hope today will be the day where we start all that going on. But good morning to you, and thank you for joining us. I'm here with Johnny Hughes.
Absolutely, and across the continent of Africa, we're celebrating the efforts and the contributions of our forebears. Now, I trust that you're fine wherever you are. It's Friday, it's a holiday. I know most of you will be going to the beaches. Most of you would want to go to the pubs and all of that. So there's a ban on drumming and noise making in Accra, but I know that there are a few locations around Accra where people can still go and have fun. Play safe, whatever it is, play safe. But in celebration of the African Union Day, I've been thinking, is Africa really progressing to think that we're the most resourced continent in the world in terms of gold, cocoa, bauxite, iron, timber, coffee, cashew, oil, everything? Are we progressing?
Johnny, I think we are, although very slowly, at an extremely slow rate, because all the things you mentioned, when you have all these natural resources, you'd expect that we'll be ahead of Europe, which actually comes to collect our natural resources to make themselves better. But I think it also is a leadership issue, which we've said time and again. If our leaders were able to come together and use the resources we have wisely, then maybe we wouldn't be where we are. We would have progressed many, many, many more years ahead of what we are. But I think we should still appreciate the little progress we're making, although slow, and encourage our leaders to do better. I think the citizenry in many countries have now become more enlightened, where they're not just resting on their oars, but they're also pushing government and people in leadership to actually deliver. And I think that's where Africa must get to.
I don't know, but yes, I agree we're progressing, but maybe not at the rate we want to progress. But don't our leaders travel to other developed countries? Don't they see what's happening? So if a politician mounts the platform and says, I want to make your life better, he's making your life better as compared to the one you have now, or compared to what exists in a civilized society, if you will. If a politician says, I want to make your hospital facility or your health facilities better, or your schools better, is it compared to the dilapidated structure we used to have, or is it compared to the structure elsewhere where every school must have electricity so they are able to study ICT, they must have a library so students can go there and read at a leisure time, they have a decent canteen where students can go and eat, they have space for children of, who are coming up to be able to play and make all the mistakes. Is that what they talk about?
I would want to believe that when they say they want to make it better, they're comparing it to the best, practices
you want
elsewhere.
To believe?
I would want to. I hope so. But I'm sure maybe when they translate it to our circumstances, they're looking at, the factors that surround us. Maybe that's what limits them in actually achieving that dream. But I certainly would want to believe that every leader will want to do the best for their country when they're putting power.
So when the Kwabena incident broke, we were told that the police was going to be retooled. It's been over a month, okay? Have you seen the retooling? Have you seen it? Have you seen the CCTV cameras at the police stations? Have you seen it?
Certainly not. Maybe not full force.
Addition to the ammunition?
Well, around that same time was the Operation Calm Lives issue, and we saw the cars. As for the branded cars, we see them. They are pretty much a lot in town. But as to whether you feel their presence in the society as it should be, when we say we've revamped them,
you don't fight crime with cars alone.
Obviously.
So if you buy cars and you say you are retooling the police, when they sit in the cars and they meet the armed robbers, and
they don't have the ammunition,
and they are opening fire and they have heavy firepower, what do? How do they return fire?
Exactly. So that's what we talk about.
If they don't have computers to analyze the intelligence they gather, how do they? What's the point? So when we say African Union or AU Day, I want to see it expressly done. Look, today we'll be talking about Nkrumah. We'll be talking about Mobutu Sese Seko. We'll be talking about Patrice Lumumba. We'll be talking about Mugabe because he belongs to the old age. We'll be talking about Mandela. We'll be talking about Julius Nyerere. We'll be talking about Abdul Gamal Nasser. We won't be talking about Thabo Mbeki. We'll be talking about Akufo-Addo. We'll be talking about Rawlings. We'll be talking about the Tamils. We'll be talking about Yar'Adua. Why?
Because
Why?
that's how we seem to have remembered history. We always look at the people who have died, the many, many years behind, and then we talk about what they did, forgetting that we have current presidents who have also done, or even just recent exes, who have done things that have, translated into making Africa unite or making Africa better. But we don't talk about them. Because every time we come to this, one big issue.
Why does our history
have to always
sound better than
when
our current
old
situation?
I don't know.
Why does it? I mean, why does it taste
guess it's
better?
what we're comparing
and
to.
it is because, look at the Tamamoto Way. It was constructed well over 50 years ago. It served us a great deal. Look at the roads that we construct these days. And you know that in trying to construct roads, you need to show your bitumen, your chippings and everything to the highway authority.
Right.
Is that what the samples they show to the highway authority to get the contract? Are these the same samples they bring onto the site to construct the road?
We hope so, but we know it doesn't really translate into that. Johnny, I mean, we're just saying that, yes, we think Ghana has done well. Kudos to all the ex-presidents and even Africa as a whole. But, we should just unite. There is power in unity. That's all we... So that you can draw from everyone's strength.
I'm waiting for the day when we will have one currency as Africa. But whatever it is today, eat an African meal.
Wear an African attire.
Yes, George Crading is, I'm sure it's
Sheikh.
from Mali or... you want to be from Mali, Djibouti?
More like it.
South Sudan? What do you want to become? What would be your name today, your African name today?
Sheikh Abubakar Osman
Abubakar
bin Lab.
Bin Lab.
No.
Should we?
This just reminds me of that meme about, Christian and when he was in Dubai.
Ask Bim Babina.
He was giving a big name, Sheikh. But anyway, George has all the news for us.
Exactly. The news is up next here on your favorite morning show, Newday. My name is Josh Cradin, and on to our very first story. One of the lawyers defending persons facing trial for the lynching of Major Maxwell Mahama has insisted the team of military officers led by the late soldier were protecting illegal miners. Lawyer George Bernard Shaw, via the Minerals Commission, had written to the mining company they were protecting CNG Alex to halt operation in the Drabo Forest. Here's a report by Seloma Menya.
Lawyer George Bernard Shaw was cross-examining the first prosecution witness, WO2 Sebikwesi, was also the second-in-command to Major Mahama. He also further said the relationship between residents of Dencho and the company was tense due to concerns bordering on forest degradation. After the murder of Major Maxwell Mahama by some residents of Dencho, the district chief executive, Daniela Pieni, alleged CNG Alaska was engaged in illegal mining. This, however, led to his suspension by President Akufo-Addo. WO2 Sebikwesi maintained he and his officers were authorized to protect the company and added they carried out their duty professionally. He, however, rejected the claim by defense lawyer Bernard Shaw that the military was deployed to the site due to constant attacks on the company by the residents of Diaso. Bernard Shaw made a reference to a letter written by the Minerals Commission asking the company to halt its mining activities and suggested to the witness that the company was engaged in an illegal activity. Again, WO2 Sebikwesi said he was unaware of such a directive. To the media after proceedings, father of the late Major Mahama, Captain Dennis Mahama retired, reiterated concerns over the number of persons standing trial.
I take consolation from the fact that the police are still on it. These 14 that are being tried cannot be all. We know that, they'll be tried, but the police is still on the heels of any others and still looking for more information to gather more people involved in this dastardly act. And at the appropriate time when they get them, we will be coming to court again.
Meanwhile, the Accra High Court has ordered the head of the Disclosure Department at Vodafone Ghana to make available phone records of the first accused person, William Ba, thus the assemblyman, on May 29, the day the soldier was lynched, as well as May 30, 2017. This follows an application by his lawyer, George Bernard Shaw, saying access to the data will enable his client to put up his defense. This was not opposed by Chief State Attorney Evelyn Kilson. George Bernard Shaw on Thursday concluded his cross-examination of Major Mahama's second-in-command, WO2 Sabi Kwesi. The case has been adjourned to June 5, 2018.
And now a historian and researcher at the Ghana Institute of Journalism, GIJ, has enjoined Africans to fully exploit their similar goals and aspirations to promote regional integration and economic activities. According to him, unity is critical to Africa's socio-economic transformation.
The quest for continental unity can be traced to the works of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Tafawa Balewa, and Gabriel Haile Selassie. The formation of the now-defunct Organization of African Unity, OAU, marked an important juncture for the total liberation of the African continent. Continental unity was further given a boost as the OAU transited to the African Union, the AU, which has since played critical roles in the socio-economic and political development of Africa. Considered the largest continent and the cradle of civilization, it covers approximately 11.7 million square miles and a population of more than 1 billion people, which translates into about 10% of the world's populace. The cultures and the physical variations of its people reflect adaptation to both hot, dry and wet climates, with rich cultural heritage manifested in arts, crafts, folklore and religion, as well as clothing, cuisine and music. This diversity, however, is strengthened by a strong bond of similarities.
We have a lot of things that unites us. If we talk of our culture, that is one. And we talk of culture, we can talk about language, we can talk about food. And in terms of language, you realize that most of the languages that we have today evolved from a common language. And then also if you look at it in terms of generally our way of life, our family systems, everything, you realize that Africa, we really have recognition of extended family.
Historian and researcher at the Ghana Institute of Journalism, Tahiru Latif, indicated the continent needs committed and selfless leaders to accelerate its transformational agenda.
We see ourselves as one, and then we trying to engage in some kind of activities that will bring us together. For instance, we've been having sporting activities, we've been having cultural activities, we have Panafest, etc. Okay, all these things are to ensure that they bring Africans together.
He charged the African Union to play their part to ensure peace and stability in the sub-region to enable the continent meet the aspirations of a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development.
You can engage us on stories at so far on our social media platforms. On Facebook is News on TV3 and on Twitter is a News TV. Let's just do other stories. Well, the police says it has not invited the Member of Parliament for Laura and Deputy Roads Minister Anthony Kabo for interrogation. Director of Police Public Affairs Directorate ACP David Sinanu insists they would need more time to gather evidence before going public on the allegations of influence peddling and defrauding by false pretense by the GFA President Kwesi Nyantakyi.
Even before the intended police-media interaction Thursday morning, news went viral. The Deputy Roads Minister Anthony Kabo had been invited by the police CID in relation to the Tiger IPI tip that had allegedly indicted the Ghana Football Association boss, Kwesi Nyantakyi. According to the report, Anthony Kabo was expected at the CID headquarters in the company of his lawyers, but the police has denied the claim.
In respect of the invitation of the Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, I want to emphasize and to inform you that nobody has invited him to come and assist with investigations. Investigations has just commenced, and we appeal to the press to give us ample time to enable us come confidently to you with whatever findings that we have.
Some members of parliament reportedly expressed misgivings over the CID invitation to the Laura MP, insisting it constitutes breach of privileges. Meanwhile, the police say it is not obliged to give details of its investigations into the allegation against the GFA boss. According to the Director General of Police Public Affairs Directorate, ACP David Sinanu, It is unprofessional to parade suspect before the media or aid the media to solicit information from suspects.
We confirm that yes, he was arrested at the airport and he was being interrogated at the CID headquarters. He has been granted bail and investigations are ongoing. But we are coming out with new media guidelines, and under best practice, police will not parade suspects before journalists. Let us get it. It is wrong for the police to parade suspects before journalists, except where there's a need to identify the suspect. There is nowhere in the world where commentaries are run on investigations, up-to-date commentary. It doesn't happen anywhere. So please bear with us. Let us adopt best practice. This must be clear, and please let us follow this procedure. It might not be very convenient to you, but those are the best practice that I am telling you.
The Tiger IPI investigative documentary is expected to be aired on June 6 in what has been billed as explosive.
Away from the police, let's delve into health, where authorities at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital say the facility needs more doctors and nurses to attend to the large number of patients. And the hospital currently has about 40 doctors attending to the over 1,500 patients a day. Here's a report by Frederick Clarence Williams.
Management of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital attributed the high number of patients to referrals from other private and public hospitals in the capital. The expansion of the hospital has increased the workload of 40 doctors and 320 nurses. According to management, the outpatient department in 2017 had 95,900 patients, reflecting a 9.3% increase in new clients from the previous years. This translates to a doctor-patient ratio of 1 to 11,726. The authorities lamented that the hospital was understaffed due to expansion works. The acting medical director of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Strofenyo, believes the facility can best operate with a minimum of 70 doctors and 490 nurses. This means the hospital needs at least 30 more doctors and 170 nurses to enable them to attend to the growing number of patients who visit.
Currently, it has been transformed into 420-bed capacity hospital. That means that we now have more patients. And in addition to having more patients, there are also more units that have been introduced. For example, before we didn't have a centralized emergency department, we didn't have an ICU, we didn't have a Benz department, and all these new areas have now been introduced. And it means that we need more staff to be able to run the place.
Dr. Strofenyo, who was speaking during a familiarization tour by the regional minister Ishmael Ashite, lauded staff for their dedication to duty. He requested government support to ensure quality health delivery. The Greater Accra Regional Minister Ishmael Ashite promised to liaise with the Health Minister Kwekwaji Maimenu to address the hospital's concerns.
The regional director herself is with us, so I told her to take the necessary step. But if I meet the health minister as a colleague, I will just whisper it to him, so that if in case the regional director goes to him, he will know that there is something that I've already mentioned as a regional minister.
The Greater Accra Regional Hospital, a 420-bed expansion project, was financed by the government of Ghana with a credit facility from Exim Bank and HSBC Bank of the United States of America.
Remember, you can also watch us live on DSTV channel 279. It generated unresolved controversy across policy and political lines in the country. The agreement in its totality provides Ghana as a staging post and permanent ground for U.S. military operations across Africa. Close to 2 months after some Ghanaians hit the street to protest the agreement, the matter appears to have been shelved. Here is a News Desk report.
The last time the Ghana-US military agreement came in the news was on March 28 this year, when hundreds of Ghanaians took to the streets of Accra to protest the agreement. The agreement had earlier been approved by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government, but had come under heavy criticism from the opposition, who say it undermined their country's sovereignty. There were reports Ghana and the United States were working to forge closer ties between their armed forces, but both had denied rumors that Washington is planning to set up military bases in the West African nation. In a tweet supporting the protest, former President John Mahama said, I join in declaring Ghana first as my compatriots and other democratic forces converge to demonstrate their opposition to the Ghana-US military agreement. The United States ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, thinks that an investment of $20 million in the Ghana Armed Forces in 1 year as part of the Ghana-US Defense Cooperation was a pretty significant return that Ghana ought to be grateful. Although this type of agreement was not new to Ghana, certainly the development was new to many Ghanaians. In February 1998 and April 2015, earlier memoranda were signed. The previous agreements were not known to Ghanaians because they were not taken to Parliament for ratification, even though US military has been in the country under those agreements. Some variations in the new agreement as compared to the old ones is what has generated public debate after it was leaked. For many, the most noticeable slip Ghanaian negotiators made was to keep the agreement timeless. Indeed, this is the basis for other concerns that have emerged since the agreement went public. Per the agreement, the US forces would have unfettered access to facilities and property given them until no longer needed. The government and the minority in parliament have continued to slugging out with government justifying the proposed agreement, whilst the minority has called for its immediate withdrawal from parliament, arguing that it would denigrate the sovereignty and autonomy of the government and the people of Ghana, as well as the laws of the country. But what is the current state of the agreement?
And that's how we end news here on Newday. For more news updates, log on to our website, 3news.com. I want to wish Benedetto Corey a happy birthday. May all your dreams and aspirations come to a reality. I'm George Quinn. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your holiday.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Oh Lord. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Oh Lord. Our Father, forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptations, but deliver us from evils. Deliver us from evils. Oh Lord. Our Father, forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptations, but deliver us from evils. Deliver us from evils. Oh Lord. Otosi la jifo. Okonchinako. Ofiadu fanaba. Ya wololo nula nibati. Siba ala senior wana la jifo ana. Tomya kono fo kabi aye.
Well, that is beautiful music coming from the Ghana Police Band, and today they're going to be with us throughout to rock you for today because it's a holiday, and I'm sure many of you are home watching this program. But of course, today is Africa Union Day, and we're talking about solutions. Let's make Africa great again. That is coming from the African Union Day of Prayer theme, and I'm being joined in studio by the president of Mission Africa Incorporated, Dr. Kojo Simni. Good morning.
Good morning, my
and
guest.
happy AU Day.
Same here, same here.
So, Mission Africa Incorporated, yes. What exactly do you exist to do?
Thank you. The viewers, I want to say happy AU Day. And what we do is based on the Word of God, the Bible. There are several prophecies in the Word of God that talks about the restoration of every continent.
Right.
That if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, God will hear from heaven, forgive their sins, and heal their land. We know Africa, we are one of the second biggest continent, and we have a lot of resources, but we are also a strong prayer nation, Ghana in particular, but we are poor, and we are the poorest continent. So the issue is, what is the issue? What is the problem?
Right.
The problem is what Mission Africa exists. We try to look for solutions and then bring it out, and if we put them pragmatically, we can be healed. The first thing is that we have to return to God, because we believe that He created the whole world, and those of us who believe in Him, the principles that He has set to restore a nation is to go back to Him. Then secondly, there are some things that we need to do as leaders. Right. The Bible says, if you want a leader, God always chooses a person who is well groomed, well balanced, like Moses was, highly learned, and he was taught by Africans in Acts 7:22. So we believe that we have to let people who lead us to be aware of the problem and find solutions. And the only way they can find solutions is that they also have to read, research, and see how other nations have done, and then maybe we follow suit. That's one. Secondly, we believe that we have to support the African Union with intense prayer, because with God, all things are possible. With men, it cannot be possible. So the agenda of the African Union is to unite Africa and also give us everything that we need to make our lives better. But that cannot happen because AU is about 55 years now when it was established, and 16 years since AU came to existence. And we are still struggling, even though we are making some strides. So we believe by supporting them with prayer, God will intervene.
Well, you talk about turning away from their wicked ways, and then you seek His face. But if, as a continent, we don't seem to have turned away from our wicked ways in terms of selfishness, greed, corruption, I mean, all the political, big wigs who are making, insulting people and doing all the negative things, do you think then God is really ready to heal our land if we don't also turn away from our wicked ways?
That is why we don't believe in separating the church from politics.
Right.
Because it used to be the king and the priest, they rule together. So the priest and the king and the prophet comes in to advise. We serve as advisors in the silent and to pray for them so that they can be cautioned to lead a peaceable and humble life, because the Bible says that we must pray for our leaders, petition, pray, and thank God, intercede for them. So gradually, people's heart will change. Nobody can change anybody except God. The Bible says in Proverbs 22 verse 1, it said the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So if a person has an attitude and a character, you and I cannot change except God turn that person's heart. Then his or her attitude, corruption, behavior, only God can change that. And that's what we believe, and that's why we are behind them 100%.
Interesting. But tell me about the program for today. What is the lineup like? Where is it?
Today we are going to be looking at some of the pragmatic solutions which is about skills. Because the youth in Africa, we have 668 universities in Africa, and out of that, we have 10 million come out every year from all over the African countries, and 50% don't get a job.
Right.
So we have to find solutions that will help them be able to create jobs and have graduates unemployed. Then we have like Apostle Pokunyina will be there. First of all, the Speaker himself is going to be part of the
That's
team.
the Speaker of Parliament.
Speaker of Parliament will be there. Then Apostle Okunyina from the Church of Pentecost, the chairman, is in full support. Dr. Lawrence Tete, Worldwide Miracle Outreach is there. Dr. Pastor Andrew Ewu of the Seventh-day Adventist. Apostle Oko Amankra of the Church of Apostolic Church, and Archbishop Krupira from Zimbabwe is on his way, and Reverend Dr. Azikwe, Prophet Joseph Adongo, Dr. Apostle Kojo Safo, Nana Dakwa III, Reverend Dr. George Aye, Dr. Kusua Samne, and Reverend Mrs. Gripira, and many, many renowned men and women of God are going to be there.
Right.
Now, focus is to really intercede, because we are saying that by 2020, the ECOWAS currency, God willingly, will be established.
Right.
That means the enemy will be busy. So we need to be praying behind that so that it will come to pass. So Mission Africa, we assist to pray for the objectives of our political leaders, so that they'll be able to carry their mandate without any distraction.
Very well. So where is it happening, what time, and are we paying to get there?
No, it's a free event, and it is going to be today at the foyer of the Parliament. When you get to the Parliament, downstairs where they meet, and it is the phone number, if you want to come in and call, is 020-148-5020.
Well, we'll definitely put that phone number up again later so people can, find their way there. But it's happening at 10 a.m. today.
Yes.
And so your final words concerning AU, what do you expect Ghanaians to do to help Africa unite?
First of all, I believe that we should stop bashing leadership. We should rather be praying for them, because nobody is perfect. So the first thing we must acknowledge that those that we elected, we must come and pray behind them. So I'm expecting every believer, every Christian, every person that wants Africa to rise again, take the time, come to Parliament, let's congregate and pray and see the face of God for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, for them to govern us where we're supposed to be, to the glory of God. So everybody must not just sit at home and watch.
Very well. Everyone will join you there today. We'll be praying for the African Union. I have been speaking to Dr. Kojo Sumni. He's the president for Mission Africa Incorporated. But it's time for us to step out on the streets to rant and ask the question, what is the relevance of African Union to you? Do you think the union should exist at all, or maybe we should just throw it away because you don't see any unity happening in Africa? Let's step out and see.
Today is AU Day. Ever thought of the essence of this day as the annual commemoration of the foundation of the Organization of African Unity, now African Union. During this day, you hear names like Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, Jomo Kenyatta, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, to mention but a few. All of these are greatest African leaders. And so, what are the current crop of African leaders not doing right? Do you ever regret being an African? This is Daily Rant. Let's keep talking. A friend of mine would say, oh, it's necessary because at least there's a holiday, he can relax and all that. Do you think there's any significance in this day?
Yes, it is. It's very significant because it commemorates how far Africa has come from colonial times. The whites used to make our rules and they decide what we do, but then through the effort of some people like our past leaders, they redeemed us from all this, and then now we're making our own decisions. We are taking our own decisions. We do things for ourselves. It's not like before. No one has to tell you do this and do that. Exactly. We do it in our own interest for our own people. So I think it's very important to celebrate it.
When I hear AU Day, I just feel like we are living on past glories. Okay, what do we have to show as at now? Ghana is 60 years and over. 61. AU Day, what do we have to show? Are we going to base on what has happened on the from slavery, and apart from the slavery that we have to talk about today, if we are like, AU Day. This is AU Day. All right, we are celebrating AU Day. What do we have to show as a country? All right, as a country, Ghana. When you go to places, all right, when you go to US, when you go, every time they are celebrating.
But those countries are developed countries.
That is what I'm saying. See, so when are we going to tell ourselves that yes, we are developing countries, but we can, start something? It is AU Day, okay? Now let's go back to our parliament. We have MPs who sit there a whole year. They talk once.
But what do you want them to talk about? I'm coming. Okay. Why do you guys want to base the effectiveness of an MP on like the speech? If you don't that MP is part of a committee.
If you are sick,
if you don't see you speaking on camera, it doesn't mean the person is not working.
If you are sick in the stomach and you don't do this, you understand? We have some. Is it an adage or I don't know how to put it? Oh, you say you get it. So this is very simple. I can't speak. I've given you the mandate by standing in the sun, giving you power. Go and speak for me, and you go to the parliament and you speak once.
Let's come to
that is what we are talking about.
Okay, usually when it's AU Day, you hear names like Jomo Kenyatta, Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Mandela, and a whole lot of people. It's come like it's about celebrating greatest African leaders. You don't
for
really
sure.
hear
Now let me tell you. These current African leaders, okay, they are living under the shadows of the what was it called?
The names I mentioned.
Not even the names you mentioned. Right now, the African leaders, they are living under the shadows of the foreign leaders. This Trump and whatever.
Why?
To the extent that we have a foreign president or prime minister coming all the way from UK to tell us to sign a gay whatever. If we were to be ourselves, do you think they would have come to? Because they aid us. Wait, they aid us in so many ways. We can't talk. But our old leaders, they were not like that. See, they speak. All right, they fight. But we, the current leaders, they are not fighting.
You side with him.
All right.
No.
Why no? See, they are not fighting for us. Okay, what they think.
You hardly hear of your, the Muhammad's and then
you say they are not fighting for us.
They are not fighting for freedom, or even if the freedom is there. All right, they are not fighting for Ghana.
I still change.
See, they are not fighting for Ghana. That is the thing. They are living under the shadow. They are living under the shadow of the foreign people.
See, they are not fighting for us, like they are fighting for themselves and all that because of corruption and other stuff. But the fact that they are serving as a president and ministers and whatever, they are serving the country. They do things in our own interest. They don't have to. Do something their own way. Our elders say you look at those who are ahead of you and then you learn.
You learn from there.
So if they are copying things from the US and the UKs and the Australians, it doesn't mean we are living under their shadows.
Listen,
but sometimes they do some things and then you feel this is blind copying. I agree with you if you say that, but then it's not every time that they do that.
But do you side with me when I say the celebration of the AU Day has become more like we celebrating greatest African leaders?
It's more like it. See, that is what, yeah, it's more like it because
see these current leaders, there is no way we can celebrate them. See, we can't celebrate them. Look at Jacob Zuma. Money, top. See, he keeps marrying, using the public money for unnecessary things. And you want me to celebrate such a person?
If we are going to start criticizing them now, I think we'll take the whole year doing so. But then we would have to look at the brighter side too. We are a country that.
And talking about the greatest leaders, I think all the citizens love to them. Mandela, talk about Mandela.
Yes. It's I think it comes with the generation. It's what you do. To be freed from slavery is not an easy thing. Yeah. Colonial something is not an easy thing. So whoever will take their mantle and then emancipate us will be celebrated. Okay. It's not every day that you do something like this. So where we will put them is definitely up there. These guys came in when we were already free. So to do something to get to that level is not easy. You can't replicate what
Kufuor has been there before. I've been there before as, let's say, chair of AU and Kagame and all that. But you don't even hear us talking about them.
That is why I'm telling you that. Listen. Not getting position, using position to help any country. See, I'm telling you the truth. the current president or the head of state, see, they are living under the shadows of the whites. It's so simple. You can't tell me anything apart from this. If you are to pick Mandela, put Mandela there. See, this guy, upon all the hustling this legend, this Mandela, this legend, see, upon all the struggles, all right, he had one thing, that he was going to rise above all the struggles. You get me? They sent him to prison. Still, he had ways of writing letters out of prison. You get it? See, they didn't have that spirit of cowardness in them.
As a human being living in Africa, I'm more prone to die through preventable disease like cholera and, let's say, malaria. Okay. And it's quite a sad picture, I know. But I could go on and on if you want me to. But I think there's hope. You also regret being an African. Do you regret?
See, I don't regret being an African. Okay. Me personally, my mom is from Nigeria. I was born in Liberia. My dad is from.
You're a mystery.
You understand? I was not. See, I'm proud of being an African. All right. But my problem is not with me. Okay, even if it's with me, my problem is the leaders. Now they are telling us that keep Ghana clean, keep Ghana clean. What policy do you have that when somebody drops something on the floor and the police?
That's why there are AMA officials who do.
And their AMA, are they doing their jobs? Are they doing their jobs? If they themselves, they've been littering more than the civilians or whatever. See, let me tell you one story. There was one teacher, all right, my headmaster. He warned us from going to a chop bar because there were food in the school, all right. And every morning we go. Every morning we go, all right. One morning when we were leaving, we got there. We saw this same headmaster who told us not to go to the job, sitting there eating. We bought the food and we sat next to him. He couldn't speak. What he did after eating, he left his meat, put it on mine. You get it? So it's like scratch my back, I scratch your back. You get me? That's the whole system is scratch my back, I scratch your back.
You think so?
You get it? So how?
No, I don't regret being an African. You see, leaders like Paul Kagame. You see, Paul Kagame.
Like if US is giving free visa, you will still stay in Ghana.
I will never. You see, I'll close my eyes like this and open. I should be there.
See, don't talk about free visas. Let them dock a ship at, the beach here, and say they are looking for slaves. Mumbra and Enko. You see how we all go. But that's beside the point. You see, failed us. Yeah, they have failed us. But you see, people like Paul Kagame, he's brought about free African trade just recently, and then I've seen African leaders signing on to the pact and join. You see, these are the kind of things we want them to be doing. Because EU, they are not doing anything extraordinary. Because it's just this free travel, free business and all that. That is it. But this is the case, I'm a Ghanaian and I want to go to Togo. When I get to the border, the kind of money I'll pay before I enter Togo. Yes, with my passport. They say ECOWAS free trade. When you buy Hollandia, see, when Nigeria just here, you buy goods from Nigeria and then you are coming to Ghana. Custom would go through your stuff and they will take the ones they like.
They are thieves.
It's true. That's what. My sister is married and she's living in Nigeria. That's what they do. They will go through your stuff and take the ones they like, and then
they give you the samples.
They'll leave the rest to you, and they will take you money when it's supposed to be free trade. So these are the kind of things our leaders need to step up and then take charge. If they do this, nobody will sit somewhere and call Africa shit hole.
Because it's a holiday, I'm giving you the rare opportunity to wish your loved ones and families watching.
Okay, I would like to say Ramadan Kareem to all my Muslim brothers and then the Muslim community in Ghana. And then I would like to wish my mom speedy recovery. I mean, she's coming back from a really bad injury, so I would like to wish her speedy recovery. And my friend Aisha, I know she's doing the watching.
Your friend?
Yeah, my friend.
Okay. My very first shout out is going to go to my dad. I know he's watching me. And one guy I really look up to, Alfred Okansi.
Alfred Okansi?
Okansi, yes.
My name is Alfred Okansi.
Okansi.
Use
Alfred
360.
Okansi. My next shout out goes to Alfred Okansi. I really look up to this guy. And also my very third one is going to go to the entire family of talented kids. Maria, Alvin, Mr. Ivan, and the whole crew. Kena, not leaving you out. And Okay. My wife to be.
Okay.
Becky.
Amen. Amen. So
I know she's watching.
Okay,
and my very best cameraman, Prince.
Prince, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the public have made their thoughts clear. Do you ever regret being an African, and what really is the essence of AUD? Let's know what you should think watching home. Log on to our social media platforms. On Facebook is News on TV3, and on Twitter is our News TV3. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your holiday.
Gana be you, send you a free minora. Susu baby, Fabua Gana. Gana be you, send you a free minora. Police bond is 100 years this year. Sure. Susu baby, Fabua Gana. Gana be you, send you a free minora. Susu baby, Fabua Gana. Money be you, send you a free minora. Me my gun, at this mama home sweat. Mama yemfa odo biakuye, emfa mbu me. Na omei, ye na reja patia. Yana na nundi ababrese, digitu omaye. Enti esemenu se, yansumka na ye. Anya sape, na chichima baba bebu yemfo. Mini, susu baby. Fabua Gana. Na Gana be you, send you a free minora. Susu baby, Fabua Gana. Na Gana be you, send you a free minora. Ifisia Oha. Police band is 100 years this year. And as part of the activities, we are here to present dedication to all POMA members, the IGP, and our Director of Bands, Chief Superintendent Dr. Frank Okoti. All POA. Ghana yasasi batana, yamiesha no da. Ejia waweni, epreviasi asumdie. Eyasasi bataya, empoku. Ejia so waweni. Previous yansum yesu anutia saminu se yansum kana ye anya sabe dachi chima bebu yenfo mini yi susu baby Fabua Gana. Na Gana be yo senye yo every minora susu baby Fabua Gana. Na Gana be yo senye yo every minora. Band present here. Me my Ghana, I see mama recharge your card, send this for Vodafone cash. Send a text, make a call across the net. Forget your worry, Vodafone promotion here solid.
Airtime, data, and mind-blowing cash prizes of up to 200,000 Ghana cedis every hour, every day, every week, and monthly on Vodafone Payday.
Give me cash. Hashtag Vodafone Payday.
It's the finals of TV3 Talented Kids Season 9. Make a date, Sunday 27th May 2018 at the National Theatre. Rate 20 Ghana cedis. Family ticket of 4 persons at 60 Ghana cedis is available till 21st May. Get your tickets at the following outlets. TV3 premises at the Samwe Kanda, Tema Community 11 Shell, Airport Shell, Bachelor Total, Accra Mall, and Junction Mall. TV3 Talented Kids is brought to you by Cowbell Milk, Indomie Instant Noodles, Kalona Non-Dairy Milk, Time Herbal Mixture, First Bank Financial Services, Sandra Ice Cream, Royal Drinks from Casa Preco, Deluxe Acrylic Paints, British Columbia College, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Spray, and a Nampa Mackerel. Talented Kids, free to play.
Weekends are a bit like several hour days put into one for our sport-loving fans. Several top matches, top-level competitions, various sporting disciplines that have been spread across. It can get a bit confusing, but no more because of our new show, Warm Up. What would you do with over £200,000? You can't imagine, right? That is what your favorite footballer, Cristiano Ronaldo, earns per week. Now, let me show you this. That is one of the world's most expensive, a Cognizant CCXR Trivetta Floyd Mayweather. He cruises into his gym with this. Now, would you like a tour to the Baby Jet Mansion? The Basilica is what it's called. Your Saturday mornings just got better. Join me, Thierry from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on TV3 and 3FM for more juicy information on your sports personalities and what they'll be doing when they're not kicking for fame and glory.
Warm Up shows every Saturday at 10 a.m. Make a date on TV3 and is brought to you by
MTN. Everywhere you go. Solak Herbal Mixture.
Afro Tales.
You have to be very, very careful. Sir, dear son. Now to tell 10 for Mantua near you, near JJ war, near Dufu, near Yaude.
Saya flow double. I drink Cassiano. Sawa drink kitty sapala. That you to a talent. Oh, menu.
I'm not watching Yawa no asman.
We are Simis Matchwell proof anyway.
Oh, Babu me. Whoa. I can't swan your man. I would have worked. I'm catching.
Memema.
Wow. Temptation. Na hips and Yanko Porochi Chema, Obiaka Cracker, one could say, Afon for 7 hips.
Afro Tales shows Monday to Fridays at 9 a.m. right here on TV3. Brought to you by Tabia Herbal Mixture and Capsules.
Papa sanitary pad. I'm a wash my head there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ted Spear, pastor of the Fundamental Baptist Church International in Kumasi, and I would like to welcome you to join me every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 for the Fundamental Hour. As we think our good works will save us. Please join me as we teach the Scriptures each and every Sunday morning right here on TV3. God bless you.
Fundamental Hour shows on Sundays at 6 a.m. right here on TV3.
It began in 1963. By 2002, its nomenclature changed from the Organization of African Unity to the African Union. At the time, President Kufuor was in power in 2002. How have we done? How well have we done as the AU? Take a look at this beautiful story.
When you hear of African unity, what does that mean to you as an international relations expert?
Well, it means a lot. It means that we're still continuing the journey from Pan-Africanism, and the desire to have Africa as one is still on. The flame has not died. And so when I hear of African unity, I believe in what our forefathers started. There are several hiccups. When I hear of AU, what comes to mind is not the journey as a bad journey, but what comes to mind are the hiccups that is making the journey tortuous and very difficult trajectory to move. So the AU, for me, is a positive thing. We need to hang on to it. We need to perfect it. we need to strive hard and move away the hurdles gradually so that we reach where our founding fathers wanted us to be.
Certainly, you talk about our founding fathers and the dream of unification. Yes. Do you think you're anywhere near that goal?
It's difficult. You know, we started as a political kind of, or we started off with the thinking that politically we could unite. Then we came to the reality, the realization that there is a reality. Integration is no longer that kind of political wishes. It has its own logic. And integration in the form that Nkrumah wanted, if you got independence, you joined. If you got independence, you joined, and it will be one at the end. It was no longer feasible. What was feasible was rather a kind of regional economic integration. And could you lump all the 47 sub-Saharan African countries together, or the 54 total African countries together, and say we are getting united? It's difficult because integration is trade-induced. As trade-induced as it is, it means creating the conditions for the lowering of barriers to trade and shoring up those things that will make trade work. Infrastructure, institutions, that's supranational institutions, and getting one currency, and that's the logic is there. You can't bypass that logic. The moment you try to bypass that logic, you run yourself into many problems. And that is what the AU is facing now. The AU started as a nascent organization for political kind of discourse. It didn't work, or it was hiccuping. So now they understood it and decided that away from the founding fathers' dream, let us have regional integration. Now, the building blocks for regional integration should be the regional blocks. AMU, that's Arab Maghreb Union, ECOWAS, SADC, the South Africa, the EAC, and the one in Central ECAS, Economic Community of Central African States. This was the dream in Abuja, 1991, which was very perfect. In fact, the political economists which drew this program, DDG Adebayo and others, knew that was the perfect, because that is what the literature says, and that's what the logic is. Unfortunately, politics, whatever it is, global political economy and the vicissitudes of globalization created the condition for us not to go by that way. We're still hanging on to that one way or the other, ECOWAS and that kind of thing. But new ones cropped up. So you have a spaghetti kind of thing, multiple membership. Now, integration hates that. You can't belong to two groups. But if you check up, DR Congo belongs to 4 different groups. In ECOWAS, we have UEMOA and ECOWAS. When you go to East Africa, some of them are in SADC, some of them are in COMESA, and they are still in EAC. This kind of multiple membership, which we call the spaghetti bowl of African integration, is the biggest drain problem for. But if we had had ECOWAS as one ECOWAS, 15, 16 countries with one currency, the next one with another currency, the next one with another, then what Abuja told us, it gave itself 34 years trajectory from 1991 to 2025, would have gotten one Africa, one currency. Infrastructure moving left and right. These are the basic problem of the AU now. And so you see the AU is now trying to move away from that. And they started with the tripartite FTA, free trade area, with SADC, COMESA, and EAC together. It doesn't solve the spaghetti bowl issue. Now they want a continental free trade area spanning more than 27, 30 countries. Yeah. That is worse. Because you need infrastructure. You need lowering of barriers to trade. How does Egypt trade with South Africa? How does Egypt trade with Botswana? And you are lumping all of them together in one FTA. That is the basic problem. The second basic problem of AU not meeting its targets is the question of funding. 67% of AU funding comes from the EU. He who pays the piper calls the tune. And we are really under a problem there. The third basic problem, which is also very devastating, is what we call security communities. Once you are building integration, you have to turn it into a security community. NATO is the backbone of the EU. You are making some trouble for EU. NATO will come in to stop that kind of.
Yes.
Do we have that in Africa? So already in ECOWAS, how many security problems we have had in terms of intrastate fighting in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, and these kind of hotspots in Africa is also problematic for the AU. So we will be spending more money on security rather than nation building and economic building.
To what extent do you think that the sovereignty of the various African states, in fact, hinders the call for united Africa?
Yes, one way or the other, it does hinder. But sovereignty these days has no serious meaning because of globalization and interconnectivity and interconnectedness. However, sovereignty comes in because of this security issues, where in a state you have intrastate conflicts and things like that. So people put integration at the back burner and they want to secure their states. So Yaya Jammeh or Cote d'Ivoire or any other country would like to ensure that the security of the state is intact before he thinks about integration. And that is the bane, that is the problem that the AU is facing. Luckily, the AU has been very active in peacekeeping efforts, has been very active in having what we call the peace and security architecture with the Peace and Security Council, but it is taking a chunk of the AU money. We have hybrid peacekeeping where the UN assists the AU in trying to make sure that these sports, and especially it's been exacerbated also by jihadism, you know, whose center is shifting more to Africa than in the Middle East. Because while the Middle East is burning and churning, what we are seeing is that people are returning to Africa for safe havens, and that is the danger. One way or the other, I think if we are able to solve that problem, we'll be heading towards a good decision. Agenda 2063, for example, makes it clear what things we want to do and to reach that diadem where we say that Africa is a continent, a united continent, playing its role in the world, and that's what we are heading to, and that is what AU is also heading towards.
So, having said all this, the Continental Free Trade Area is one that has gained. It's a discussion that has gained a lot of, you know, attention. Do you think it is going to be beneficial, and do you think it's even going to be realized?
It is difficult. You know, as I said, integration has a certain logic. When you despise the logic, you run into several problems. The CFTA, that's the Continental Free Trade Area, will run into the very problems that the sub-regional idea runs into. I have always said as a researcher that it were better for the AU to concentrate on rationalizing the RECs, that's the regional economic communities, giving them boundaries. So like 16 countries, because Mauritania is coming, 16 countries in West Africa, the AMU, the ECAs carve them out and tell countries to belong to one each. Then, with their logic, they move to. But if at the one and the same time we are talking about continentalism, because the CFTA is the idea of continentalism, and at the same time the logic of integration pushes us towards sub-regionalism, we are heading towards a clash. And that clash is that, whilst I'm interested in my ECOWAS, you are forcing me to move ECOWAS to join the CFTA at a later stage. You are forcing SADC to be part of the CFTA. But the hiccups will be there. So I think, and as I teach integration, I always maintain that going back to Abuja, 1991, the tenets of Abuja, will be the best for the AU. So we are going to have several more hiccups with the CFTA. And many of my colleagues are writing about that. A good idea, good intentions, and Africa is good at bringing about grandeur programs, oblivious to the fact that there are hiccups along the way. I'm not a fan of the CFTA, honestly speaking. I'm a fan of Abuja 91. And I believe that if we rationalize the RECs, using them as building blocks for a continental union, that is where we belong. And that is more plausible than the way we are talking about continentalism. And you know, one side of the continentalist idea is also sentimentalist. You have the leftists always chanting Pan-Africanism, one Africa. It doesn't happen without a base. You know, yes, one Africa. And going to some part of Africa, I've got to go through Europe. But if you go by the building blocks, gradually building, the gradualist approach, as was discussed in Accra 2007, you know, they called it the grand debate, where Obasanjo brought a certain idea, Gaddafi brought a certain idea, and Thabo Mbeki brought the best of the ideas. Rationalize the rest. Let's go back to Abuja. That was Thabo Mbeki. Obasanjo wanted us to use the 15 supranational organs of the AU and quickly build onto it, get a triumvirate of past presidents to be the presidents of Africa, and then we move. Gaddafi went back to Kwame Nkrumah and said, today, let's announce, what do you call it, one union and get a president and let's move away. These things don't happen. They have a logic. They have a logic. If you don't eat, you don't grow. So you can't tell me grow, why so I don't eat. So we need to go by the logic and the steps that would take us to integration. So it looks as though exactly sustainable and secure. We have now known that in our quest for integration, there are problems. And once we have identified these problems, why are we waiting? Where is the infrastructure? Barriers to trade, they are all over. Niger has 76% of its revenue coming from border barriers, but these have to go away, you know, those barriers to trade. And any other things that create condition for non-trade, we have to remove all that. Security-wise, we've got to make sure that there is peace. Then production. What are you creating integration for? Integration is for the market. And therefore, you need to create the market. So from your FTA to your customs union, and you know, how can you create one customs union when some of the countries belong to different unions? Customs union will never happen. All right? Then you go to the common market, the level, that level. At that level, you are allowing free movement of goods and services and of persons and establishment. And then the final level being having a common currency. When you harmonize all your macroeconomic fundamentals, you got the currency. What we are doing, it will take us
we are moving from top bottom into
exactly. That's not correct. That is not correct. They are not listening to the researchers. They are not listening to the gurus in integration. Because a lot of my colleagues in integration, Professor Adesina, Soromeku, who else? They are all there. OB, in Ghana, Professor SKB Asante, the doyen of integration in Africa. All these persons, you know, Olukoshina, everybody is writing against a system that defies the logic of integration. So
they are not listening.
Well, they will not listen. When they meet at the heads of state, this thing, and they chuckle their glasses, they want grandeur programs where they append their signature. Unimplementable. Then we go for aid from Europe, and they tell us what to do. The more Balkanized we are, the more it is for Europe and the Americas and the Chinas, because they trade with us individually. We have gotten AU policies, but they don't work because we are not united. For example, the AU mining policy, the AU agriculture policy, but EU, it works. They have EU agricultural policy. It's all there for the EU. EU foreign policy. So that when Tony Blair wanted to deal with China in a certain specific way, a Brighton, a British citizen, who was the commissioner for foreign trade, just told Tony Blair, you have no right to do that. That is integration.
Because it works, yeah.
Yes, that's how it works. So they have to listen to those who are researching and telling them that look, integration has a logic. They should tell the sentimentalists who want Pan-Africanists, they should tell them the logic is there. They should tell all those who want to make score political marks because they are paying for integration to note that you can pay as much billions as possible, but it won't work. You won't reach there unless you go by the logic of integration.
As Professor Vladimir Intridansila is speaking to the dictates of the African Union, what would need to do right after that 1991 meeting, have we departed? Are we on the path? Well, let's connect the dots now and speak with Dr. Benjamin Mafu. He's the program manager of the Neglected Tropical Diseases. Doc, thank you very much for your time and happy African Union Day to you.
Yes, thank you very
how's the
much.
day going so far? Friday morning?
Yeah, so far so good. So far so good, yeah. So I'm here just to talk about neglected tropical diseases.
Neglected tropical diseases have plagued not just Africa, not Asia, but Latin America as well. Some 1.2 billion people have had to contend with this situation.
Sure.
What are neglected tropical diseases?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, neglected tropical diseases, they are a group of infectious and parasitic diseases commonly found in the most impoverished parts of the world.
Okay.
So globally, we're talking about 17 diseases, NTDs that we call them NTDs. In Ghana, we're talking about 12. So, if you can permission, I may go through these 12. We're talking about lymphatic filariasis, otherwise known as elephantiasis.
Okay.
lymphatic filariasis. These are two words, filariasis and lymphatic. Filariasis, that's the worm.
Okay.
It's called the filaria worm. And then lymphatics. What it means that the worm affects the lymphatic system.
Okay.
Lymphatic system is just like they are blood vessels like.
Okay.
Just like our blood vessels.
Okay.
They look alike.
So elephantiasis.
And then we have the onchocerciasis, that's river blindness.
Right.
And then we have schistosomiasis, otherwise known as bilharzia.
Okay.
And we have soil transmitted helminthes or intestinal worm infestations.
Okay.
That we all know. And then we have trachoma.
Okay.
Let me mention that trachoma has ultimately been eliminated in Ghana.
Okay.
It was endemic in northern and upper west regions. Then, so these 5 diseases that I've mentioned fall under one program in Ghana here.
Buruli ulcer,
yes, they follow up also. So we have buruli ulcer, we have yaws, we have leprosy, we have human African trypanosomiasis, otherwise sleeping sickness, leishmaniasis, rabies, and then a guinea worm disease that has also been eliminated. So out of the 12, 2 have been eliminated in country.
What would be the state of Ghana in terms of these diseases? You've zeroed in on 5.
Yes.
What is our state?
Yes, so if you're talking about these 5, like I mentioned earlier, trachoma has been eliminated.
Okay.
With regards to the elephantia, for schistosomiasis, that's bilharzia, and intestinal worm infestation, that's endemic all over the country.
Okay.
For onchocerciasis, that's river blindness, and elephantiasis, we are talking about the last survey we did shows that about 125 districts have gone beyond the WHO threshold.
125 out of over 200 districts.
Yes, yes.
They have gone beyond WHO
threshold.
Okay.
And so that's why.
How dangerous is that?
That's not good enough, because if you have, that means lots of persons are exposed to these infections. And lymphatic filariasis, I believe you know what it is, elephantiasis, where you have the water balance in our system getting compromised, and you have water accumulation in the lower parts of the limb, the breast, the arms, even the genitals, and a very debilitating condition. We're talking about onchocerciasis, where we have skin itching, rashes over the skin gets very thickened and disfigured, what we call the lizard skin. We have skin, it also turns into different colors, what we call the leopard skin, and then ultimately they get blind.
Wow.
So that's devastating.
Now let's look at the underlying factor will be poverty, because this affects
the most impoverished parts of the world.
Yes. On AU Day, I know that the Ghana Health Service has a plan.
Yes.
You want to tell me about the plan?
Yes, yes. So basically, we have 3 major strategies. But the major strategy, the most salient of these strategies is what we call the mass drug administration. Whereby we go into these very
125 districts.
And then we administer medicines to persons. Yes, we have non-eligible. That's about 10 to 15%, but most of the population will be given.
When is this starting?
Yeah, we started on last Monday. That was the 21st. Yes, and it will be on for about 2 weeks. Yes.
So you're doing this based on what? A survey that you
Yes, we have done a survey, like I mentioned earlier, in last year.
And
that tells us what is really happening on the ground in terms of the prevalence level. And so we are moving into. When you talk about let's say river blindness, 119 districts went beyond the WHO threshold. We're still having about 15 districts still going beyond the WHO threshold for lymphatic filariasis. And then 9 of them are co-endemic. So in all, about 125.
I see. Now, go back to my earlier question of poverty.
Yes.
This is supposed to be a problem of poverty, most impoverished areas of the world.
Yes.
Africa, Asia, Latin America.
Yes.
On this Grand AU Day, you're distributing medicines, but the situation of poverty is out there. Yes. How do we juxtapose the two? You give them medicines, they are still in the squalor, they will still get the disease, don't you think?
I agree with you perfectly. So we have to fight the
is that what you're doing, or you're doing just one
yes,
part?
I'm talking from the Ghana Health Service point of view. That where we administer drugs, we even do what we call mobility management. So what we mean here is that those who have the disease, we try to manage. We just don't say that, well, we have the disease, so that's it. We manage, and then we do health education. So we do the mass medicine administration, we do mobility management, and then we do health education. That's from the Ghana Health Service point of view. On the part of from the point of the government, we have to fight poverty.
Have you told them, as program manager of the National Tropical, Neglected Tropical Diseases, the mass drug circulation program, have you told government that, look, if you don't fix the poverty issues of the people, we'll come back to this story again?
The government is aware. Yes, this the NTD falls under the Ministry of Health.
Right.
So yes.
So they are aware.
Oh yes, they are aware. But it's not only NTDs. There are lots of diseases that are highly connected with poverty. So it's not only NTDs.
Exactly.
It's not only NTDs. So it's something we all have to fight together.
So for you as programs manager, you go, you distribute the medicines, you manage the people, and then you go back 2-3 years and you find that, well,
yes. So for instance,
do you get disappointed?
Yes, it's not good enough. But for instance, let me talk about trachoma.
Okay.
We have eliminated trachoma. What did we do? Aside the mass drug administration that I mentioned earlier, what we did was to make sure that people were given safe water, very important.
Okay.
And making sure that we built latrines all over many of the places in northern region and upper west. So these are some of the things that we did. We had NGOs that came on board and assisted the ministry.
Let's talk about funding. Where do we get the money to do this? Because it's capital intensive.
Yes, I agree.
Where do we get the money? Do we have the money as a nation?
I must be frank with you that the government also assists us.
Okay.
We also get funding from developmental partners, and that's what we've been doing all this while. So
we go and borrow money, or we go and beg for money, and then we add small to it?
Well, I wouldn't say beg for money, but somehow we are, every year we have development partners like USAID and others.
How do we change the story? You are a program manager.
Yes.
How do we change our story from all these diseases, river blindness, bilharzia, trachoma, whipworm, roundworm, elephantiasis? How do we change the narrative?
Yes, so we have to work not as let me say we can't work alone, just as Ghana Health Service working alone, but we have to work hand in hand with the government, and that's what we have been doing. But we have to do more. Yes,
more in terms of more.
Yes.
What do you mean?
For instance, I'll give an example. Like for instance, for trachoma, you need to.
So for elephantiasis, what do we do?
Yes, elephantiasis is caused by, first of all, by a worm, but it's transmitted through the bite of the female Anopheles mosquito.
All right.
So we have to fight against the mosquito.
Mm.
Yes, so that's why we're providing ITNs, insecticide, bed nets all over the country. Indoor residual spraying is ongoing. We still have to do more. And then when you get malaria, also, when you get entities, we should know what
I haven't seen the Ghana Health Service actively involved in the National Sanitation Day, for example. It's just about a week. Yeah. If we do know that mosquitoes cause this, the Anopheles mosquitoes cause this, and it comes from stagnant water, Mala area, and the gutters are choked, and we're not. We must have a concerted effort.
Yes.
With the district assemblies.
Yes.
So the 125 districts where you're going, what is the kind of conversation you have with them?
Yes. So we have we have made them to appreciate what we are doing on the ground from the Ghana Health Service point of view. And let's say we're telling them, for instance, that if you have black flies around, that, so to speak, could transmit river blindness. Then we have to do vector control.
Right.
Vector control really helps a lot by killing the flies, the black flies. And so the district assembly has to come. We are engaging them. We have been doing that. Like I said, we have to do more.
We have to do more. Doc, I thank you for your time, Dr. Benjamin Mafu. Your closing thoughts?
Yes, I will ask the public to participate in this very important campaign. Yes, but because as we take in the medicines kill the worms, and then the transmission of the disease is brought to a very low time level.
Thank you very much. Dr. Mafo is the program manager of the National or Neglected Tropical Diseases, and we're on a mass drug distribution. Take advantage of it. 125 districts. Happy birthday to you, Nana Ekia Asida Entie, daughter of Abeku Entie of TV3. You're 1 year old. And it's a very special one. And if you're celebrating your birthday on this great occasion, happy birthday to you as well. But I told you earlier from the show, beginning of the show, the Ghana Police Band, sweet music as always. They're ready with their horns, their strings, their vocal cords, the drums, everything. You got to be dancing along with me here. Take a listen to this one.
Sweet. So. Lewa. So. Say. Ekrofu anati achiruma mi yoden bounce about mudo Ekrofu anati achiruma mi yoden bounce about mudo Papa Superintendent in Chaware wato aye hey, mind your business. Yeah. So, a dedication to Nashika's mother. Baby, to all your sisters, God bless you. Also to DSP, Mr. Kofi Atimambedu, second in command, Directorate Police Central Band. God bless you. Ekrofu anati, wachiruma mi yoden, found sabatumudo. Yelewa. Ekrofu anati, wachiruma mi yoden, found sabatumudo. Papa Superintendent. In Chaware wato aye, hey, mind your business. See. Imagine for Nadia, achiruma mi yoden, found sabatumudo. Imagine for Nadia. Imagine for Nati, achiruma mi yoden, found sabatumudo. Papa Superintendent, in Chaware wato aye, hey, mind your business. Say, Police Central Band is 100 years this year, and these are some of the activities you can see live, streaming on TV3. Just enjoy it wherever you are. Newday as well. I yes, adieu. Atinira kama benyimi. Sadio biareni, Sadio. See, aye Sadio. Day, Sajo Biareji. Aye, Wamyanka, Sajo Biareji. Aye, Wamyantwe, Sajo Biareji. Aye, eh, policeman present here. Onyi sisi na sobe sharinti merabe wa ra ra omyankwe. Onyi sisi na sobe sharinti midiye wa ra ra akakoro ajeyi. Onyi sisi na sobe sharinti midiye wa ra ra. Sure.
It's still African Union Day, but I'll be speaking to an actor, Too Sweet Anan. He's in studio with me. We'll be delving into a bit about AU and also a new movie that he stars in. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to TV3 New Day.
Thank you.
But let me get your opinion on, African Union, and particularly in the movie industry. Do you think it's about time Ghanaians moved away from collaborating with just maybe Nigeria and also embrace the other African states?
Well, thank you for having me here, and I want to say that the movie industry is not just about West Africa.
Right.
I mean, collaborating with different African countries like South Africans, the Eastern Africans, right, I think is a big step, and it's gonna help build the movie industry. Right. But I don't know what in Ghana here we don't have movie makers. Okay. We have businessmen.
Right.
Because everybody's trying to get or see what they're gonna get in return from the money they put into the industry.
Okay.
So I think it's high time we take time, sit down, do our homework, and then put things together, collaborate with different African countries. And trust me, look at AY. AY is doing really good, bringing different African people together. So I think Ghanaians should look into that.
But are the actors willing to embrace it? That's also the other side we have to look at.
Obviously, if you bring somebody from Kenya or you bring somebody from South Africa, you do a movie here in Ghana, and you want to premiere, because of that person in Kenya or South Africa, you have to do the premiere in Kenya. You have to do it in South Africa. That means it's putting you, the Ghanaian actor or artist, in a different, face of the country. Right. Because if you premiere a movie in Kenya and you are in a movie, obviously Kenyans will be like, oh, who's this guy? He's good, and then a producer or a director can call you from there. You wouldn't know. So I think we have to embrace it. You don't have a choice.
Right, but back to African Union. You've been on the scene for a while. You're African. What would you say over the years you've identified as a uniting factor amongst Africans?
Well, I think Africa is a very beautiful place. I mean, when you travel out, people say a lot of good things about Africa. So all I can say is I think Africans should really come together as one and make it more beautiful than it is.
Right.
Because we have a lot to do here in Africa.
But would you blame yourself or your leadership when it comes to not making Africa united as it stands?
Well, no, I wouldn't blame my leadership or myself. It's just the people.
But the people include yourself and the leadership.
I mean, some people are ready to embrace coming together, but others are not ready. So it's just the people. Majority
of the people are not ready to embrace. But
when you look
Africans tend to be very hospitable because we open up easily to everybody. So why then, what really do you think is the problem?
Do you think it's every African country that opens up easily?
Pretty much, quite a lot.
When you look at the African country, I think Ghana opens up to everybody.
Right.
More than any African country.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's every African country.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's limited.
Probably the leaders will meet other leaders and then, but behind their minds, you can't tell what's going on.
But when you meet other Africans, do you feel that sense of unity where they want to associate with you, or you do identify that some Africans are withdrawn and don't even see themselves as Africans?
I've been to Uganda, I've been to Guinea, I've been to Nigeria, and being in these countries, the way I was treated like a god.
Okay.
Yes. So I mean, it's a good feeling. I loved it, and I think it should continue like that.
Well, we hope
African
so.
countries should love one another.
Certainly, but
Yeah.
we've also been signed on to Xylophone. And of course, the movie industry has been talking about getting more corporate entities on board to promote what you do. How does that feel?
Xylophone Media, shout outs to my boss, Anapia. Yeah, so far so good. I think we need more corporate bodies to support the movie industry. Making movies in Ghana to a point went on the low.
Right.
So I think it's picking up now because ever since Xylophone came, everybody's trying to shoot. Everybody's trying to make it happen. Yo, Xylophone is shooting. We got to do something.
Right.
So I think more corporate bodies should come in and let's make Ghanaian movies, go worldwide.
Well, but tell us about Grey Dust. It seems to be the in thing, the new thing on the block.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Grey Dust is a movie basically talking about a mother's love.
Okay.
And then about a man who is torn in between two women. Yes.
A man torn between two women.
Yes, he's confused. I mean, I don't want to say everything right here, but trust me, Grey Dust it was a challenging movie for me because it's very emotional.
Okay.
I had to cry a lot of times in the movie, and I want everybody to come out and watch this movie. And there's a lot to learn from that movie.
Right, but are you the man?
Yes, I'm the man.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's premiering tonight at Silverbird Cinemas, Accra Mall, West Hills Mall. Red carpet at Accra Mall, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And the ticket is a cool 30 cedis. Please, just come to the gates and then dash them 30 cedis and then enter.
Is it a dash? So why don't you dash us? Anyway, but you've been mentioned on many platforms, particularly with uniting with Efia Odo. Tell me something.
Oh.
Give me a gist of that.
Efia Odo?
Yes.
Oh, Efia Odo is like my best friend.
Right.
Apart from that, there's nothing going on. No intimacy, nothing extra. We're just friends. Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, but you're also one of the most eligible bachelors, are you?
No, I'm not a bachelor.
Okay.
I'm actually dating. Yeah.
You're dating. You're off the market. So
Yes,
all the
please.
girls who have their eyes on you.
Oh, they should continue crushing on me.
Anyway, guys, I've been speaking to, I was going to say Grey Dust, but I have been speaking to Too Sweet Anan. He's an actor in Grey Dust, and he says he's the man who's confused and torn between two women. Which way does he go? Let's all go out there and support him, because today is African Union Day. We're all supporting one another to make Africa great again. But we'll take a break at this point. We'll be back with more here on TV3 Newday. But of course, we have the Ghana Police Band in the house, and you know how they rock it. They've been doing so well this morning. If you want them, you can find them. Of course, the police is everywhere. You just need to contact them, get them to come and play at your work, party, anything. They'll take us away.
Wakasa, chirami, Monica say, it's Susie. Mammy Rose say, Sharp corner. Nina, management. Onuana mewano, pamponsana mi peno, dama menijea, onuana mewano konko. Onuana mewano, pamponsana mi peno, dama menijea, onuana mewano. Oh, that yes, no one me wano, pamponsana mi penu, aduana me nidia, na so peso kasampa, adio wane se, osimi trase, na wanyene, asana wakasa, asana wakasa. Wakasa chirami amibia Onuana mewa Kom 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 na maye Kom kom na maye Kom kom Onuana mewa Kom 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 sana mi vena Kom kom na maye, kom kom na maye, kom kom.
Mana, isi mana, simena kwa, sili, do re de sili, hey. Isi manapa, mami ne papa, nana ne betu, oni anu nyinara, rado so, isi mana, hey, police band is 100 years this year. Silly. Easy one. Everyone no free one. I do me say. Everyone no free one. I do me say. One man go. Yeah. I do me say no mama yeah. Yeah. I do me son, mama, yeah. Basa, Celia, easy mana, mammy, the papa, Sima, Nana, the baby, Unanara, Ranoso, Celia. Everyone no free one, I do me say. Everyone no free one, I do me say. One man go, yeah. I do me son, mama, yeah. Basa. One man go, yeah. I do me son, mama, yeah. Basa. Simona, Isimona. Sisimbo, tabumo, yeah, zawaya. Zimanaka, mama de papa. Sisimbo, tabumo, yeah, zawaya. Yeah. Sisimbo, tabumo, Yeah, yeah, Zawaya. Ah, Okwenyi Quantablo Fango Nature. Sisi, Tablo. Yeah, silly. Simanaka, Mamma, Papa. Ako wejesu na danta wakechiro. Aye, yeah, Simanaka. Ako wejesu na danta wakechiro. Aye, wapye tele. Anana trova, anana trova, Isimanaka trova, TV3 trova, police band trova, Samanaka trova, Isimanaka trova, Chapter 1 trova, Dede trova, Saji Rose trova, Major trova, Sele, Isimanaka. Agradi police, Aife police, Sekunde police, Olgatanga police, Winneba police, or Chimami Yoden, found Saga to Mudo. Simanabe, Agradi police, Kumasi police, Winneba police, and Kampu police. Olgatanga police or Chimami Yoden, found Saga to Mudo. Papa Superintendent, Ichawari Wato, aye, my your business, silly, dedication to all our families out there. So, I tip a watch, sure, silly, anana trauma, anana trauma. Simanaka trouble, Dede in trouble, Philip in trouble, Captain Woolly in trouble, Kuntun in trouble, Abin in trouble, All in trouble, Osman in trouble, Bigalo in trouble. Yeah, this one is still live. Police band. Selele, 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 selele. Achisa, 100 years, great achievement of police band. Thank all our former leaders and the present ones, of course. Silly. When you see no sobesha, redeem me rabe. Wow. Omienko, Eva. It's Imanaka, Mammy Papa. Onye sisi na sobesha binti merambe waro say simena babu izimana babu simena Onye sisi na sobesha binti merambe say. This one is composed and arranged by the police band a few years back, just to boost the morale of the Ghana Police Service. To God be the glory, great things He has done for making our dreams reality. He has done for me, He has done for you. This is the way we wanted to be. To God be the glory, great things He has done for making our dreams reality. He has done for me, He has done for you. This is the way we wanted to be. Oh, He has done for me, He has done for you. This is the way we wanted to be. Say, hooray! He has done for making our desires reality. He has done for me, He has done for you. This is the way we wanted to be. Oh, He has done, He has done, He has done, He has done. This This is the way we wanted to be. I said this is the way we wanted to be. Oh, this is the way we wanted to be. This is the way we wanted to be. Oh, oh, this is the way we wanted to be. Because I wanna be a police. I wanna be a police. Oh, oh, to serve the people of Ghana. This is the way we wanted to be. I wanna be a police. I wanna be a police. Oh, oh, to serve the people of Ghana. This is the way we wanted to be. Zele, zele, zele. Policeman, I wanna be to serve the people of Ghana. This is the way we wanted to be. Zele. I wanna be to serve the people of Ghana. This is the way we wanted to be. Yeah, me, say, say, this is the way we wanted to be. Say, 100 years, police band is now an education to all the pioneers of the police band. God is good all the time. He has changed our destiny. We need to praise Him for great things He has done. This is the way we wanted to be. God is good all the time. He has changed our destiny. We need to praise Him.
Welcome back. Well, there is a word out there and it's Ayo. It's a Yoruba word and I'll leave them to explain what it means to you. But MTN is here with me. I have Emmanuel Jim. He's the sales manager at Ayo Ghana Intermediaries Limited, and also Francis Gota. He's the country head at the same company. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
What does Ayo mean?
Ayo simply means happiness.
Okay.
And it's a business created by MTN Group and MMI Holdings to distribute microinsurance to MTN subscribers.
Oh.
What we want to do is, or what you seek to do, you want to provide a future where everybody uses insurance, not just buy insurance. So we provide where everybody uses insurance. So we are providing relevant, accessible, and easy to use insurance solutions to Ghanaians on the MTN network, and those who are not on MTN network yet to join, because you can now buy insurance on your phone.
Okay.
By just dialing a short code and you just enroll and simply you get covered.
Nice. So, I mean, with this thing, you explained that it is micro insurance. And so what exactly does the customer benefit when they get in partnership with Ayo?
Okay, with the Ayo Recharge with Care, the benefit the customer gets is the customer initially gets as a hospital cover. In case the customer is sick and is kept in the hospital for one night and over, the customer gets a maximum of 50 cedis paid daily.
Okay.
Now, if the customer stays for 10 days, the customer is getting 50 times 10. That's 500 Ghana cedis.
Right.
Also, the customer gets what we call the life cover or the death benefit.
Okay.
Now, the product gives you two benefits. That is the death of the subscriber, and the product allows you to add a family member for free. Okay. So in case the family member is called to glory, we pay up to 3,000 Ghana cedis. And in case the policyholder is called to glory as well, the policyholder or the beneficiaries or the caretakers get 3,000 Ghana cedis. Also, the customer has the option to choose both. That's the hospital cover and the life cover, and they can benefit on all those schemes.
Okay, so does that mean there are only two schemes running on the Ayo Recharge with Care?
Currently, that is the benefits, the two benefits. So the customer can select the My Hospital, which is the health aspect, or the My Life, which is the death aspect, or both.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so how does a customer even access this Ayo Recharge with Care?
So for Recharge with Care, as I say, we are leveraging on technology to make insurance accessible to everybody and easy to use. So for you to sign up to Recharge, you just have to dial *296#. Okay. When you dial *296#, you'll be asked to select the cover that you want to buy. That's either a life cover or hospital cover or both. and you select the amount that you want to be deducted from your airtime to give you the insurance cover that you selected for. What is amazing about this product is that you pay with your airtime. So the more you top up your airtime, you get cover at a cheaper cost, and it's simple.
No, that sounds too good to be true. Explain it, break it down, and let us understand what you mean by you get it with your recharge.
Okay, so basically how it works is that if I sign up to your recharge with Care and I select a live cover, for instance, I choose the amount of money that should be deducted from my airtime anytime I top up, and I get multiples of that as my insurance benefit. What is amazing is that it's very affordable. It's you select between 50 pesos and 2 cedi per benefits. And this amount is deducted from your airtime. For the hospital cover, every amount that is deducted gives you 20 times as your benefit amount, your daily benefit amount. So let's say, for instance, if I say when I top up my airtime, deduct 2 cedi in a month. If you deduct 2 cedi, I get 20 times of that. That's 40 Ghana cedis as my benefit. Anytime I'm hospitalized, each day I spend at the hospital is paid to me so that I can use it to support my hospital bills. In addition to the life cover, each amount that is deducted gives you, we have a multiple of it as a cost, but the multiplier depends on the amount of airtime you purchased in the previous month. So the more you purchase airtime, let's say if I spend 80 Ghana cedis in above airtime last month, every CD that is deducted, I get 1,000 times as my benefit. And if I passes away, it's paid to my beneficiaries to support the funeral. If my registered family member passes away, it is paid to me to support the funeral. You know how insurance works, you know. It gives you a peace of mind knowing that something is there. You don't have to go and disinvest or take money from your savings to go and organize a funeral or take care of unexpected hospital bills.
Okay, but the issue mainly with most insurances is claiming it. Actually, you've accessed it, you want it, you're on it, but when the day comes for claiming, it's a problem. Is that the same with IO Recharge with Care?
On the IO Recharge with Care, what you do is that it's simply on the USSD. So the whole concept of customers getting frustrated when it comes to claim, you have to visit the office and all that. We've been able to demystify that. You follow that *296 hashes, which is on the USSD, and you select the option for claims, and you can claim. Now, the document that you need to present to us when it's for a claim is that if it's a hospitalization, you give us a copy of is a receipt or any evidence that you have been to the hospital. You can take a snapshot and just WhatsApp it to us. That is the beauty of it. You do not need to walk to an office to queue and all that. No, you do not have to go through all that stress. Also, the claim is also paid through mobile money onto your wallet. And that is done in the shortest possible time. As soon as we receive the document, we just pay that onto your mobile money wallet. You didn't have to go through any stress of queuing, filling a form, calling somebody, change it. No, everything is done so simple, and you can get your claim.
Nice. Just to be clear on what we're doing, so supposing I am an MTN subscriber, unfortunately the other beneficiary I'm talking about is not, and I pass away, how best does the person get the claims that I signed on? So
with the claim, when you sign up, we've made it such a way that either the beneficiary triggers the claim, or a caretaker, somebody that you trust, can trigger the claim on the behalf of the. And when the claim is triggered, you just go to *296 hash and you file the claim. And you send the document. As soon as you file the claim, you receive a call or a text message confirming it, and you give you directive as to present A, B, C, D. And when you submit it to a WhatsApp platform or you drop it at any of the MTN shops, it will get to us, and we use it to process your claim and you pay it promptly to your mobile money wallet. Fortunately, we have interoperability, which means that you don't necessarily have to be an MTN mobile money for your claims to be paid. So wherever network that you are, it will be paid. But we encourage people to be an MTN network, of course.
Yeah, will. But
because we enjoy a lot of goodies.
Some of the other challenges that come with these things is people who are uneducated and obviously don't even know how to use the internet or whatever it is to access this. Are you making any contingency plans for these people?
Great. What we do is that when there's a claim and the customer cannot follow the steps, you can call 100. That's the MTN call center. Or you can visit any MTN office and you'll be assisted, or any MTN field agent, assistant. They can always assist you to process that. So first of all, you need to call the MTN call center, that's 100, or visit the nearest MTN office and they would assist you too.
In addition to that, because this product is basically target the medium to lower income people, our sisters or our brothers and mothers in our Bosokai or in the informal trade sector, and all who think that insurance is for the rich, who thinks that insurance you need to open a bank account and all we've demystified all, and everything is on the USSD. So all our engagement, we try to engage a customer. You dial *296. This is how you file the claim. This is how you sign up to the policy, so that they also get empowered. Then they will be part of the digital evolution that's going on.
Certainly. But so supposing I sign up onto one of the schemes and I start off with saying deduct 2 CDs, can I change my mind and maybe increase it as the day goes by?
Oh yes, you can do that. You've made it very flexible. The power is in your hand, you know. It's your airtime, hello. So you decide how much that you should be deducted from your airtime. And it's simple. Registration is it's free. It's free. All that you need to dial *296, and you must be between aging of 18 and 65 to get covered. But insurance, we have a waiting period of 30 days because we don't want a situation where people intentionally wait when they are about to cross over or when they are sick, quickly rush, to file a claim or buy the post. So there's a 30-day waiting period on it as well.
When you say 30-day waiting period, is that waiting before you get your claim or waiting for it to actually start working?
Okay, so the 30-day waiting period means that when you sign up the policy, you cannot file for a claim
within 30 days,
which is non-accidental within 30 days. Yes, but for accidental death or accidental event, you can't claim.
Very well. So wrap it up by reminding us of the steps to go through to be able to use IO Recharge with Care.
It's very simple. You just have to dial *296#. Then you select sign up, you select the cover that you want. You gotta have the life cover or hospital or both. And you select the premium or the amount you want to be deducted from your airtime anytime you top up. And off it goes. You add your family member for free, and you add your beneficiary and a caretaker. Of course, they have to enjoy the proceeds.
Well. So, guys, you've heard that good news that MTN is bringing out to you. I've been speaking to Emmanuel Jim, he's the sales manager, and Francis Gota, the country head, all at IO Ghana Intermediaries Limited. And they say it's really simple. They are bringing micro insurance down to you so you can also benefit. So, sign up to it because it's a good idea. We'll take a break at this point. We'll be back with more here on Newday.
Lachagoni chamio wadani mikebo ye somu mwe kamre ngomwe koni mi dagbe mi ye enefese kemi beda animi small bocho Maria oh me be cry yo bas mami yafuni sheshi solo asolia kashio bakbe mi be crying, you must mommy. Yafuni, sheshi. Solo asolia get you back by me. Maria. Sugar. J'ai appelé qu'à mon béni, comme on y minio. No fin le wo yele non chire mi person. Wo she wo mo. Ni wo sumo. Ye mo sumo. Wo she wo jino. Oh la chago ni chamio e wadani mi ke boye. Sumo mwe kamre ngomwe ko ni mi de mi ye. Enefese kemi jeda. Animi small bucho Maria, oh me be crying, you must mommy. Yafuni, sheshi. Solo asolia kasho back by me. Maria, no me mobo. Oh me be crying, you must mommy. Yafuni, sheshi. Solo asolia kasho back by me.
Policeman, hey, 100 years. Oh, na chagoni chamio, wanani, mike boye. So my camera, oh my god, ni mean the baby, and never second me down. And Miss Mobucho Maria, Maria, oh my big grand, you best mommy. Yapuni, sheshi. Solo solia get your back baby. Maria, can you see me, Maria? I solia get your back baby. Yapuni, sheshi. Solo solia get your back baby. Sugar.
Hey, yeah. Na na na, sele,
Oh my God! This is the Evergreen Ghana Police Band. 100 years, for a full century, they have dazzled with brilliance, musical brilliance. And today we have them here as part of our African Union celebration. Let me say good morning to Jonathan Syme and Mrs. Dorothy Syme. Jonathan works at the ADB. You love live band music and the Ghana Police Band in particular. I've been joined by Chief Superintendent Dr. Frank Hukpoti. He's director of the Ghana Police Band. He's here with his deputy DSP, Kofi Ajiman-Bedu. Chief, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are we doing?
Congratulations
to you. 100 years.
Yes.
Wow. How have you sustained the Ghana Police Band?
100
years.
Yes. Like I keep saying every now and then, that those who started with the band, we have to give credit to them for at least giving us a job.
Right.
And it's incumbent on us also to mold it well and then pass it on to the next generation. And we don't even know the next generation. Perhaps there might be our own children, our own grandchildren. So we have to take good care of it.
Absolutely.
So we are doing our little best for Mother Ghana and for God.
Right. Chief Superintendent, 100 years, and the question has been, how do you sustain it? But the Ghana Police Band is the toast of many events. I was with you in Sogakope a few weeks ago, and everybody wanted some more of the band. What's the trick?
Well, I think it's based on training. It's actually based on training. We were actually trained by the people that we came to meet. They were actually trained in Britain. So they also passed on that same training to us. And besides that, we also trained locally at School of Performing Arts. So when we put all this together, trying to train the personnel themselves to be up and coming, and I think that's what is helping us so far.
DSP, let me come to you now. So the 100th anniversary, what form is it going to take?
Yeah. In fact, we started lunch last December. That's 28th December. And then the program started from January 8th. We're going to end it in December. In Accra. Even today, we're going to play at the Junction Mall at Nungwa.
Right.
And in the regions, we have a band in the regions. That is Boga, Koforudia, Sunyani, Takoradi, Winneba. All of them are also going to play part in the anniversary.
So I've seen the men and the women play. I've seen them at different locations. Are you musicians too? Do you play? Do you sing?
Yes.
Chief Superintendent?
We are all musicians. Like I said, we're all trained musically. I write. I write.
You're a composer.
I compose.
Right.
I also sing. I have some few things that I've also written, but I prefer singing in Ewe because that's the language that I'm comfortable with.
Right.
And besides that, we try to, use our own folkloric materials. For instance, Ghanaian folk songs. To convert it into marching music. And you realize that that's what the Europeans did.
Right.
And looking at the trend, we also want to project our own music, you know. So that's what we've been doing so far. My brother, he liked writing pop, old-time pop highlights.
I see.
So it's like we're all trained and we all have our various, you know, specialities, for instance. Yeah, so that's what we're doing so far.
Mr. Jimabedu, you like pop?
Yes.
I see. Interesting. What informed your choice to like pop music? A policeman who likes pop.
Yeah, because when it's an instinct something.
Okay.
It comes from inside.
Yeah.
Right.
You like maybe you like reggae, you like whatever.
Right.
I like pop.
You like pop?
Yes.
I see. So any songs that you have written, you know, as director and deputy of the police band that, you know, we could hear the band play?
Oh, sure. Gentlemen, do you have one of my pieces? Which of them do you think you can render?
Well, we'll try and get them to do that,
Okay.
but they'll get ready
Okay.
because I want Chief Superintendent to sing for me.
That's no
to
problem.
sing for
That's
the
no
rest
problem.
of Ghana to listen. So what are some of the activities that we have lined up?
Yeah, in fact, like my brother said, we embarked on our recorded project in January.
Okay.
In fact, we realized that all that we've been playing, that is referring to the marching band.
Right.
We don't have even a single track recorded.
Wow.
Which is really a very bad something. So we managed to put all those things together. And unfortunately, we don't have any recording experts in our country.
Wow.
So we have to fly this gentleman from Denmark
to
come and assist us in recording this something.
Okay.
During the period, we even came down here to see if we could get a studio that we could do this recording, but unfortunately, we couldn't.
Okay.
So we had to go to GBC. In fact, GBC gave us a very big studio. So the recording took us about...
But then there's Zap Mallet, there's a P2.
Yeah, the Zap, those guys are pop recording artists.
Okay, you are looking for regimental music
regimental
recorders.
orchestra, somebody who records orchestra.
Okay,
you know,
and
so
we couldn't find
we couldn't find anybody. There's this gentleman at Salam Down.
Okay.
He opted to do it, but he couldn't provide any sample to actually show that this is what he does.
Right.
So,
right.
And this being the first of his kind, we decided to go in for somebody who is actually into that business.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
So we finished with the recording.
Wow! Congratulations.
And, thank you.
Wow.
We were able to record 61 songs or so.
61?
Yes, we are putting it into 3 series pack. You know. So we are working on, you know, the inlay and see how best we could bring it. Well, unfortunately, we don't have funding too. So maybe I'll take this opportunity to ask if somebody is interested who could assist. Well, we'll be very grateful for that person.
I see. Right.
So we finished with the recording. We've also, as we speak now, we have the marching band is traveling to Winnipeg this morning to have a program with the University of Education Music Department. You know, we're trying to see how best we could, you know, spread our tentacles around for people to actually benefit from what we are doing. And besides that, in February, the recording was in January, February. And we also participated in our national 6th anniversary, which the police band was always around to support. And in March, April, we had, in fact, there was this program at the police hospital where we were supposed to support in a blood donation exercise. Unfortunately, it didn't come on. And we're also having a symposium with with senior high schools. With, as we speak, a noon high school has actually requested that we come to them and then perform and actually have an interactive something with the students.
Okay.
So
on that note, the police has cadets in the schools, secondary schools.
Exactly.
Are we looking at having bands in the schools as well so we can have ready talents that we can absorb into the police band?
Yes. As we speak, there is something ongoing with the cadets. There's this cadet general, Mr. Amate. He's also bringing them together as part of the centenary. So we're going to have them. I think you are invited already. You are already invited.
Thank
so
you.
we're going to have that cadet corps. You know, having
Nicholas Amate.
Exactly. Exactly.
I see.
So we also targeted Achimota High School, Osu Presby, Morning Star School, and then Peki Theological Seminary. They also have a music department. They wanted us to see what we can do to help them. And
grateful.
then African Unions Day, which happens to be today, we are also performing at, we are taking part in this
the Junction
street,
Ball, right?
Street jam. I don't know how they have a name for it.
Okay, I'll give you an opportunity, DSP. Finally, DSP, put out a phone number because you say you're looking for producers to help you to bankroll this. Put out a number. There's somebody who's touched there who loves the police, segregates with integrity, who would want to put that. So toss a number out there and then let's go.
Our number 0243-127-341.
You need to say it slowly so that those who are slow writers say it like the Lotto doctor said.
0243-127-341.
Right.
Oh, I was expecting to say 0243.
Okay.
127
341.
0247.
Yes.
0243.
Okay.
127.
Okay.
341.
I see. That's more like a rap. That's like pop.
That's that's the musical notation.
Okay. So we're ready for the music. Do you have CSP's music? We have it now. Okay. CSP, the floor is yours. Congratulations. Let's hear the song. This is CSP.
DSP.
Okay. This is DSP, but you're chief superintendent, Doctor. Okay. Yes, boss.
Nobi hoseto le komete chamede mauka ewo chiplani lo ewo sapopo ewo nukata ewo kekeli yo bibiti perehu nobi nyewe solimegadi lo ese ote bidena solimelo nobi egadi lo nuka wana la femede Subo, ela be soli me gadilo, mumye kwe, soli me gadilo, gadilo, soli me gadilo, ayoy, soli me gadilo, soli me gadilo, soli me gadilo, ayoy.
Composed and arranged by Chief Superintendent Frank Botti.
Oh, Davinia way, Salem Gadilo, Gadilo. Salime gadilo, ayoy. Salime gadilo, salime gadilo, salime gadilo, ayoy. Salime gadilo, gadilo.
I have never known and will never know any colonial master. I was born free, and I will hand over a proud future to posterity so that I will die a proud ancestor. They told us that we should shut up until we are old enough to own any answers to life. They told us that we are merely future leaders, and so we were to follow now. But truth is, future leaders simply means that we owe the responsibility of training the future now that it is young. Then when the future is old, when we are older, the future knows to treat us with some respect. And so fortunately, we have come to realize that we owe the future too many answers now that it is young, to teach it what home is called, that home is called Africa, that parents are called you and I responsible. Let not the future point its left finger at us. Then where would the fathers have gone? Where would the mothers have been? If an older generation has passed on bent beards to us, we must make sure that our beards flourish. In Penimbe company, some Mofrabe to one and system, Minya young comedy chedie, big way to Panso Sakotokro, after body in our credo, Mumra sa symphony, Namumiti, Badrim Massem. Say a Cambumwa, the best friend is a prayer. Into me move. We bakwa, a bebu. And soon feel saying, Opa, yen sissy, near say ya Jim Bonu, say ye no mew, say your boapayo, one cassa will be. A friend and assassin, Mamma Credit you of us. What's a new me now and was swan? What's an impending semi now be dodging in one? Africa, a bibre, Ghana, or maybe I will free so. A be ye, a me. And then also said that to be a bra yebekono in Chilimadi wonsa edu ebe boyen abaso atre and say a janum a giant a wuja dear papa. If he says chef, will you feel free wa? The acting in Abibuagum, I dare say that if you take Africa from the rest of the world, it would all come caving in. Writer King Musib's communion wine from the Canada. I wish you all a happy Africa Union Day.
And this is Nana Asase, Charlie. Superman.
Thanks.
But I said, what perform Kakra? Tone, the tone has, you know, the energy.
The energy.
Yeah. Oh, African Union, Indiana.
No, the thing is, you see, when you meet the king and you are telling him that white teeth are no guarantee against bad breath, you have to know how to tell him, such that it will actually get to him.
Okay.
When you meet the fetish priest and you are telling him his scarlet teeth are not as a result of any disease, but it's because of his love for cola, you have to know how to tell him, such that it really gets to him.
Right. I like the message you put out there that, look, we're called the future leaders.
Yes.
But they say we have to follow.
Yeah.
Now, how can we lead and follow at the same time?
You see?
As in, like, take a seat and sit on the floor.
You know what I mean? Follow me and lead me to my office.
Bald-headed Rasta man.
I shock you.
But as I say, I'm grateful for your time. Thank you very much. And come this Sunday, Talented Kids, the grand finale is happening at the National Theatre. You've got to be there. Let's bring on the kids now. All of them is that they are not following. They are actually leading at this point. As Nana Asase said, Chief, Charlie, that was super. I loved it, man. The harmonica playing our own local tunes, man. There they come, man. Superstars. Okoria Band, and what again? Who again do we have? Okay, spread out. Nice. So you tell me your names one after the other. What's your name? You need to speak up for me. That's a microphone there, so you need to speak up for me. What's your name?
Prince Kusi.
Prince Kusi. Okay, and you, sweetie pie, what's your name?
Nelisa Tiegbe.
You are the hairdresser?
Yes.
Wow, I see. I want you to make Babina's hair. You shave her Sakura first, and then you... Are you ready for Sunday?
Yes.
Are you sure? What are we to expect on Sunday? Get closer to me. What are we to expect on Sunday?
Bridal hairstyle.
Bridal hairstyle. Wow. How did you become a hairdresser? Is your mom a hairdresser?
Yes, please.
So you've been watching?
Yes, please.
I see. Wow, congratulations. I like you. Congratulations. Will you win?
Yes.
Are you sure? Yes. The Korea band said you won't win. No, they too. They have become what? Korea band. What are we to expect on Sunday? Korea band, come closer. Where's the leader? Where's the leader of Korea band? Come. Yes. So okay, what are we to expect on Sunday?
Marvelous and massive performance.
Oh, for example, give me a line. Give me a line of your band. Give me a line. Give me a song.
From a distance, I spotted this pretty lady coming.
Ebenke.
Messing a whole fair. Me,
okay, sing it.
Benim sing me
Frederica, come on.
Odia bekume. She's an African beauty, baby. Ni papa be yatini wofie. Minty nai. Min pai bonus and make any no betie. Anka me fana kofie. Makoya ne wadie.
Bibiniba
sawada
modansa. Come on.
Bibiniba sawada modansa. Bibiniba sawada modansa.
Okay, don't give them everything. Sunday we'll have it. Mr. Alvin Noy is the director and producer of Talented Kids, and Frederica here is the deputy brands manager here at Media General. Guys, thank you for joining us. Is there any other group I haven't spoken to?
That's Samuel Owusu, he's a rapper.
Okay, Samuel Owusu, come. I have heard your name on Twitter, seen you do your thing. Give me a line or two.
Okay. Be your best of the best. Rene Barcelona. Ronaldo ni Messi kwa koboba super pepe brina. El Clasico Kenya for nyine pevina. For we know the wacheni si na Guardiola Sajena. Representing Barca, Victor Valdes, Rebecca Bida, PK, Daniel Alves, Iniesta Messi, Pedro Rodriguez, Vela Fabregas, Xavi Hernandez. On the roadside, Abelua Marcelo, Casillas, Nedapo, Pepe Cavallo, Messi Tozel, Di Maria, Kaka Ronaldo. But remember no Pio, no Clasico, Karim Benzema, Sami Khedira. Pasanya is you. Sanchez is on fire. Alata Kimaya. Brazil for Neymar. Akim send the Antonio. Obesha Cantara. Ball flash white. And a bassa flash colors. Machi Bayer tight and this is the twin and the corners. Obia will prior tight. And a $42. Bassa fire one. My big fire $6.
Charlie, who do you want to overthrow in the next 10 years? Sarkodie or Chiame Kwame Edem?
I want to overthrow Sarkodie.
Sarkodie. I see. So that's your target?
Yes.
Charlie, are you winning on Sunday?
Of course.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Have you seen the small lady? Have you seen Elisa? Are you sure? The way she does her things is crazy. Okay. All right. We'll come see you on Sunday. One more, right? Is there one more? Okodia band?
Yeah, Okodia band.
Okay.
There's Nelisa. There's Nana One.
Nana One. That's Nana One.
Yes.
Nana One is a rapper too, right?
No, they are dancers.
They are dancers. Oh, unfortunately. Okay, so when we're closing, we'll create space for you to dance for us. But are you winning on Sunday? Yes. What should we come expecting? Huh? You don't know what we should expect. Frederica, so what's happening on Sunday? Tell me. If I buy my 20 cedis ticket, what am I to get?
Okay, so on Sunday, there's so much to expect from us because we have a packed package because it starts at 10 a.m. with the fanfare at the National Theatre. So Sunday after your first service, you can just brunch at the National Theatre. Yes, and then you can have brunch with us because there'll be food there. Then your kids can have a family fanfare. And then you wait for the main event, which starts at 4 p.m.
Okay, all right, thank you. So 20 CDs for one, 60 CDs for four?
Yes, for a family of four.
All right,
yes.
and it's a National Theatre.
Yes.
You have any closing thoughts? 30 seconds for you, Alvin?
Yes, we have Kitty on the bill. We have Adina as well, and then we have one big artist. I'm not going to reveal it right now, but you just come and see one big artist. Name starts with S.
All right,
you can get
S. Sarkodie.
It could be
Stonebwoy.
It could be Stonebwoy.
Shatawale.
It could be Shatawale.
Okay, I don't like you already because you're not telling me anything. But happy birthday. Happy birthday to Pearl from Nanekia from Pearl here at TV3. And to Moga 1995. Santa Moga 1996, I beg your pardon. Happy AU Day to you and to Nanekia from Pearl here at TV3. Okay, let's create space for the dancers. All right. Can we toss the song in for them? And let's see if they can bust a few stuff there. Thank you very much for watching the show. Okay, all right, we got it. Nana One. Come on. Hey. Hey.